Hey everybody, I am Justin.
And I'm James.
And together we are
Dollarwise Gamers. What was that?
That was a clap.
Yay, team.
Yay, we're doing things.
Go,
All right.
go.
I'll try not to touch this cord.
Do it.
It makes me nervous.
Nervous?
Super nervous.
Why?
Because it's been having issues, we've been having that cord issues.
It's true.
If you want to help us solve our cord issues, send payments to...
Yeah. Do it.
Just kidding, you don't have to send us payments.
You don't have to, but if it makes you feel good.
You can if you want. There is a donate button. Way over on my Twitch stream thing, which I haven't done for a while, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But anyway, what episode is this?
Episode 51.
Episode 51 indeed. Even though it says 49 on there.
Why?
Because I haven't updated it. Because we don't use it quite as much. I almost just use it to kind of make sure that I'm hitting the things that I need to hit.
It's true.
So, episode 51.
Correct.
Which is a prime number podcast.
That is actually true.
Well, so is the last one actually true.
No, actually, it's not a prime number podcast.
No?
It's visible by 3 and 17.
It's not a prime number podcast.
It is not. Nope.
This just coming in. Janet is agreeing it is not a prime number podcast.
Good.
So there we go. I wish she wouldn't put herself inside my ear from time to time.
Yeah, well, it's part of the contract.
It is. Okay. Well, thank you. Anyway, not a prime number podcast. 51, 1, 17, and 3, right?
This is correct.
Okay. All right. So let's dive into this. It is July, a sweltering July.
It is. Yeah.
Here where we live.
Oh, yeah.
It
90 and humid feels like 1,000.
Pretty much.
Well, I don't know what 1,000 feels like. So.
Thank goodness for air conditioning.
Yeah, and being in a basement. Like, it's the double win.
Yes, it's definitely helpful. I don't really Twitch stream, and it is likely that I probably won't be doing too much Twitch streaming coming up as well. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but yeah. But I'm going to try to record some stuff and try to get some stuff more up on YouTube rather than the actual Twitch streams. So that's kind of the goal going forward. Aside from that, we will reference multiple times, and you can email us at dollarwisegamers@gmail.com, just
that's
like
true.
Ross did. Ross did email us this week. I will have to pull that up.
You will.
And then we also got a comment on one of our videos.
I don't believe that.
2 actually.
No,
2.
I might believe one of the others.
Sherbets said that it was a cute dog.
It is a cute dog.
Yep.
Zora,
maybe Zora will come down.
Maybe.
But you can like us over on Facebook, facebook.com/DollarwiseGamers. Oh, you know what I just realized? We don't talk a lot about, as often as we should, about what is Dollarwise Gamers and why is Dollarwise Gamers like the thing? Why is that the name of it?
What is it and why is that the name of it?
Well, we chose Dollarwise Gamers because what we like to think about is when you play a video game, in order for a game to be considered dollar-wise,
okay, I'm listening.
you should get at least 1 hour's worth of entertainment out of that game for each dollar that you spend on it.
That is a solid theory.
It is. Now, it's not a hard, fast rule, but it is a good rule of thumb that we use.
It is.
And so that's what Dollarwise Gamers is. That's why we're here. We like to talk about those kinds of games and then other kinds of stories and things going on in the news around gaming. And we've got a game. We've got our new Greenlight game that we will be playing today.
It's true.
And that's pretty much it.
That is also true.
Yeah. Okay. So, but we like to always start with what have we been playing? So,
should I go first?
You normally go first. So.
It's true. All right. I put in about a half an hour of Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen.
What'd you think?
Getting the hang of it. I was doing it simultaneously while I was messing around with my new Steam Link.
Okay.
Which, the setup was pretty easy. I don't really have it set up so I can run the Ethernet directly to the Steam Link right now, although I can do it. I just need to actually do a little work to make it happen. So I put my laptop in the room that the router's in and plugged it in, and then everything worked fine.
Did you run a cord for it? Or no, it's only Wi-Fi, right?
There is an Ethernet port on there, but like I said, if you were listening while I was just talking, I haven't run an Ethernet to plug into my Steam Link yet, although I can because we have like the open ceilings in the basement, so it'll be pretty easy. Just got to drill a couple holes and run the wire. But so since I didn't do that, and for those of you at home, you already heard this, you can just,
Tune out.
yeah, for just like another minute.
So did you
what I
run an
did
Ethernet
is
cord,
I
or-
put my laptop in the room with the router and plugged that directly in via Ethernet, and then I was good. So anyways, I was playing that via the Steam Link. Another thing that was awesome with the Steam Link is I had my little, I have my little wireless mouse and keyboard.
Yes.
They're both one little USB thing.
Yep.
Plugged it into my Steam Link. Worked like a charm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have to, and my dongle for the Xbox controllers that I normally plug in here plugs into Steam Link, works like
Not a problem.
Yeah, I didn't have to do anything.
Nice.
So all that hooked up really nice. So I played a little bit of Dragon's Dogma. The
Does
glare
Dragon's Dogma use the...
yeah, it does.
controller?
It does.
Oh, okay.
So I used a controller.
Is it like an action adventure
It's
game?
Skyrim-y kind of game.
Okay. Is it first person or third?
Third.
Third person.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think. I don't remember. Honestly, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
yeah,
do you see through the eyes of the person, or do you
I know
stand
the
behind
difference.
them?
I know the difference. I just don't remember. I did, like I said, I played like less than half an hour.
Right.
I'm getting a Eclair out from the window during the day on that
You say
TV.
you're getting an Eclair out?
I'm getting an Eclair or maybe a bagel.
Okay.
And then I played like just a handful of minutes of Stardew Valley in this same kind of session when I set up to Steam Link, but mostly Diablo 3.
Which is what you've been playing for weeks now.
It's true. I got my Demon Hunter up to 70, and he is wicked. He's awesome.
He's a wicked demon hunter.
He is. Like, he deals out damage like no character that I have in that game.
And we did establish on the last show that Diablo 3 is one of our probably top picks for Dollarwise deals.
In my game world, it is definitely a fact, because like right now, there's hours getting put in, even though we're down here playing.
Well,
recording.
That's because the ladies upstairs playing.
It's true.
Yeah. So, but that's okay. So let's see. Anything else, or is that it?
That's it.
Okay. So I have been playing. I wanted to find I can't even remember how to find recent. I just guess you just go to games, right? I know.
Recently played.
So I was playing some Rocket League last night.
What?
I do like that. So not very much that I've played, but yeah. So I put 56 hours into that game so far.
Not too shabby.
And it was on a. Is it still on, or was that There was a Humble Bundle that just recently had Rocket League, or it has Rocket League right now.
Yeah, I think that one's over before this comes out.
Okay.
But yeah, the Revel mode bundle, 3 days remaining as of the recording of this.
So
no, it was the oh yeah.
It is on that one.
It's the
okay,
top
so
tier,
if
yeah.
you are listening to this as the day this came out, then it's probably still available Monday.
It says 3 days,
But it
so
ends in,
yeah,
like, the
yeah,
middle of
yeah,
the
because
day.
it'll end on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might be able to still catch it. However, it is on sale on Green Man Gaming. Had it on sale recently. A couple other sites have it on sale. But anyway, anywhere from $10 to $15 is how much you're going to pay for it on a regular. I put in 50 some hours into the game. It does have a bit of a learning curve, and as long as you can kind of push through that first 7 to 10 hours, then you should be good. You'll get comfortable with it. Brenin and I, my son, Brenin, we've been playing H1Z1 a lot more again.
All right.
So I finally popped up over 200 hours on that game, 210 hours.
Did you get a server wipe yet?
Yeah, there was actually a server wipe recently, but I mean, like, the way I play that game anymore, it doesn't make any difference.
How much? I mean, there have been updates. Is it a lot, or?
There's been some things. They've changed a few things around. They do have comfort now, and that will affect how fast your health goes up and things like that. There are things that affect comfort, like if you eat food from a can, that's like mom's chicken or something like that.
Right.
Like it's supposed to increase your comfort because it,
Yeah, it says mom on it.
right. Well, like because people like macaroni and cheese because they're comfort foods. Okay.
Right.
So
Makes sense.
but you have to sit down for periods of time. But it doesn't make it like you can't move or something if your comfort hits bottom. It just makes things more difficult.
Is the map bigger?
Nope, map is still the same size. It still has basically the same amount of stuff in it. there's still the hospital. I don't know if you ever played it when the hospital had been added.
I don't know.
So there's the hospital that's still there. There's a little bit more story now. Like, you can find like these crumbled notes and stuff where people have written a story, like, mom's still sick upstairs, but we're doing everything we can for her, but she just looks like death now, or something like that.
Right.
So little things that kind of tell you about it, but it's not enough lore to really draw you into the game.
Yeah.
Honestly, I find more fun playing that game just wandering around, finding stuff, talking to people on the CB radio, and then them like being like, yeah, because a lot of people build bases, and I just don't see the point to it anymore.
Yeah.
So I will bring them metal, and I play very much like a zombie whisperer. Like, there was one time I came up to a group, and they had all kinds of things that they had built, and they had a big thing built, and it was on a PvE server, so it was kind of silly because they were talking about like, we're gonna fight against the hackers and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, guys, come on, you're on a PvE server, you're not impressing.
No one's hacking.
You're not impressing anybody. Nobody's attacking you. It's not a big deal. Calm down. But like, I had some stuff that I wanted to get rid of, so I was crawling down the hill towards them, and they're like, be careful because there's a whole bunch of zombies out there, and I'm like, don't worry about it, I'm crawling. And they're like, what? And I'm like, zombies can't see you when you're crawling. And they're like, whoa. I'm like, so I get in, and I'm like, here, I've got a shotgun you guys can have, I've got an AR-15 I don't need, and here's some bullets. And they're like, can we give you anything? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. Like, I got plenty. And they're like, you need food, water? I'm like, no, dude, I'm fine. Like, I've been playing this game for a long time. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And they're like, but we got to give you something. And I'm like, okay, do you have a battery or spark plugs? Because if I find a car, because I've found cars now, like, it's more common.
Yeah.
I was like, I would like to be able to throw the battery and spark plugs in it, and I can make fuel relatively easily and be able to drive around a little bit. Maybe give people rides.
Yeah.
So, and they're like, yeah, we got some of those. And I'm like, all right, guys, thanks. Take it easy. They were like way, like over the top with it. Way too much.
They were probably new to the game.
They were probably very new to the game.
Yeah.
So, but it was fun, and my son's having fun with it and he's enjoying it. So
nice.
I'm still playing Arma 3, obviously, with casual Shenanigans. Elite Dangerous still. Fallout 4 a little bit, but primarily, you know what I've been playing? Witcher 3.
Nice.
I talked about it last on the last.
Did you finish
episode.
your deck?
I did, 100%. I 100%.
If not, I was going to cancel the podcast.
No, I did get it done. It was, once I understood like the mechanics for finding them, it went much quicker. I didn't have to. The last probably 25, I didn't even have to use any guides or anything to find them.
Nice.
So I was very happy with that. Right now I'm just wandering basically the Gwent world and just finishing side quests.
All right.
But yeah, so that's what I've been playing. But let's dive into some articles since we're wasting time.
Let's do it.
All right, so the first article we have is from cracked.com. And the title of the article is, I put a trans character in a game and gamers went insane.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so we talked about this.
We did.
Months ago when this happened.
Yeah.
So they did an update for a game called... it's Baldur's Gate. Oh, there it is. Baldur's Gate Siege of Dragonspear. And there was this one character off to the side. You didn't even have to really interact with them. It was maybe for a side quest, even if at all. Or they might have provided a side quest. And they had a single line or two of dialogue that had mentioned that they were born of one sex or gender. And as they got older, they realized they were of a different sex or gender.
Right.
And that was it. Now, in a world which Baldur's Gate is D&D.
Yeah.
It's on the Sword Coast. Baldur's Gate is in the southern half of the Sword Coast. We played a lot of D&D, and that's in the Forgotten Realms. And I'm a big fan of the Forgotten Realms. And in a world where you have magic belts that can change your gender and your sex and all these other kinds of things, first of all, it's not even a big deal. To me, to you, I mean...
to many.
To most people. But for some reason, the greater community or a very small selection of the community...
Vocal community is probably a good way to put it.
Flipped their shit over this.
Oh, yeah.
So much so that they actually updated and pulled that line of dialogue out from that character.
Yeah.
So, but this is an article, and you guys can go through it and read it, in which the actual person who did it speaks out, has some opinions. Cracked does a very good job on this article. Check it out. Look into it. And then let us know what you think in terms of, do you think that games should do this, or do you think that games should try to steer away from these more political things unless they are specifically like striving for that type of stuff?
I like, for me, I think it's a fine line. You don't want to shove it down people's throat, you know, like, especially like it's outside of what the game is about. But I don't think, like, for me, I don't think there's any reason not to. I think it's a silly thing to specifically avoid,
And
you know? Again, like, for every person that's screamed and yelled, there's probably 100, 1,000 people. I don't know how many people play this version of the game, but that saw it happened, and they just kept playing the game because it wasn't a big deal.
Right.
You know, it was just a thing.
And it's an older game that they had updated.
Right.
So this isn't like a new game that just came out. This is an older game that went through an update, and this was part of the update. And so, at the risk of agreeing with you,
whoa.
I know, right? Is it our job as gamers, when a vocal minority starts yelling about this, for people to step up and say, guys, calm down?
You know, even if a side character for me said, well, yeah, I mean, but it's a firefight you almost don't want to get involved in. Not directly, because for me, you know, these people are just prejudice.
Right.
And they have their moment to be vocal, you know, and angry about something. And I don't think it's about confronting them. I think it's about just ignoring it.
And just letting it go.
Right. It's just ignorance. You know, they have the right to say it. I don't agree with them. I believe that they're wrong to think that it has no place in their game, or it's not their game, in the game.
Right.
You know? But like, let's flip it around. Something we don't like. What if you were playing a game along these lines and you came across a character that, like, said something that was homophobic? A little side character. Like, what would you think in that moment?
So, my thought is, when I play games, there are characters in games.
Right.
Those characters I may or may not agree with.
Right.
I can sometimes play characters in games that I don't agree with.
Right.
In a lot of RPGs, the character you're playing, you choose how that character is and how they interact with the rest of the world.
Correct.
So what's the problem with a character that you disagree with?
Right, exactly.
That is what is, I don't see what the issue is.
Like, if I came across that character that said something homophobic or whatever it was, I would think, oh, they designed this character. That character's an idiot.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Right.
Like, or that character is prejudice. You know, that's the character. And you might not agree with that trans character. Maybe when you come across it, you should be like, look at it that way. Not that they're a villain or anything, but that's a character in this world that I don't agree with. This is someone that my character would not want to interact with.
Right.
And that's fine. You know, like, you should be more understanding. You should realize that it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, when people are transgender or whatever they choose, whatever they are is what they are, and you're not going to be able to change them. But, like, just like anything, if it's something you don't like or feel comfortable with, it's just a character.
Right.
It's not a big deal.
Yes, and you just move on and
enjoy your game.
Enjoy your game. And enjoy your existence.
That too. Trying not to ruin other people's by being a loudmouth
All right, next article is from PC Gamer. This one, the title of it is, yes, you can play Pokemon Go on your PC, but that's not primarily what I want to talk about.
Uh-oh.
Because yes, you can play Pokemon Go on your PC, and this article gives you the Reddit thread that will walk you through how to do it. It is complicated. Because basically you have to get an emulator for your computer to run an Android, and then GPS, whatever. It's a big complicated thing, and do it at your own risk, because there is a chance that you can get banned from the game because it's a violation of the terms of service and things like that. Because it is meant, one, to be used on an actual device, and to actually walk to the places, and you're kind of cheating the game by not actually doing the walking. And
probably making it so, depending on, you could probably go get stuff that you wouldn't be able to get. Because aren't there some, like, Pokemon that aren't in America?
Well, there are. I don't know if that's the truth. But I know that you have to go to certain places to get Pokemon. So they're more often, for example, there's a river that runs through the town that I live in.
Yes.
And in order to get the water Pokemon, I need to go down by the river.
Right.
Most around my house is all considered grass area. And so that I get a lot of, like, birds and, you know, that kind of stuff. The flying creatures, the bug type Pokemon, the poison type Pokemons, things like that. And And so you have to go to certain types of areas. But the type of Pokemon that show up tend to be based on your level. So the higher your level, the more rare types of Pokemon that'll show up.
All right.
From what I understand, I've heard, I haven't researched it myself, there are like certain Pokemon that you can only get in certain areas, like much more broad than just grass or water or whatever.
Right.
But I would find it hard to believe it was something like, only in Washington State can you go get this kind of Pokemon, because while that's interesting, I don't think that it commits to what Niantic does when they make their games.
Yeah.
And so I would find it more believable that it's more just, oh, well, you only find this type in this type of area, and that type of area might not be near you.
Right. You might not be able to get something that only appears in the desert or mountains around here.
Right. Exactly. But the major point that I kind of wanted to touch base is I am playing this game.
Yes, you are.
And you are not playing this game. And I don't believe that I will be able to, because I know James, but I would like to try to make an effort.
When have you met me before?
I would like to try to make an effort to argue for why people should, and maybe why you should, play this game.
All right. Okay. I'm listening.
All right. So the first things first is this game right now is outdoing Twitter in terms of its use. Now that on its own is not, that's more of an argument from popularity. Like, oh, everybody's doing it, so you should do it.
Argument that will not work with me.
Exactly. It doesn't work with most people. It doesn't work with most people who understand fallacies.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. All right. So anyway, but the thing is that what's going on right now is there is a lot of people who currently are out walking around, spending time with others, spending time amidst the community, meeting people they never would have met before, having conversations about a mutual thing that they like, to a certain extent taking back their communities from the potential for crime and things that are going on. Now, I understand that there are some negative things that have happened, but in general...
That's going to happen.
That, exactly. And what I see when I go out is I'm spending time with my kids. We're walking around the city that we live in. And what I see is multiple other groups doing the same thing. We were out till 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it was getting dark, and there were people still out. And I had the thought, I wonder if crime will actually go down to a certain extent, because there's so many more people out. And just because there's more people out, more eyes, crime tends to lessen. It's almost like a neighborhood watch going out and spending time in the neighborhood. But the goal is not really to be out there as neighborhood watch, but more to just enjoy yourselves, to get some fresh air, to potentially lose some weight, to walk around and to see sights that maybe you had never seen, never been exposed to in your city, walk through areas that you had never been before, and interact with people you never would have interacted with.
Have you gotten into the arguments that you think will convince me yet?
No, I've got my last one.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. There was a Saturday where my kids were at my in-laws and I was out by myself, and so I had walked for about 2 hours. And during my walk back, I was on my way back because I had charged up to 100% because this game kills your battery.
Yeah.
I was on my way back because I was down to about 15-20%, so I was walking back home. And I left the house and walked around. I didn't drive somewhere and then walk around. I actually walked through my city. And on my way back, I was walking through a park, and I came across a couple of homeless people. Linda was the one lady's name, and I want to say Jim, but I know that that's not correct, and I feel bad that I've forgotten his name now. But anyway, as I was walking by, they said, "Oh, are you playing that new game?" And I was like, "Oh, you're talking about Pokemon?" And he's like, "Yeah, we've seen a lot of people walking around." I said, "Have you seen a lot walking through this park here?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "'Cause there's a Pokestop right here. There's a Pokestop, right?" And this is a park in the city that I live in. It's right next to a church. You might even know where it is, next to the parking garage.
It's I'm sure if we were there, I would know what you're talking about.
And there are a lot of transients, homeless people that tend to congregate there. And I didn't have anything to do, so I continued talking with them. And I probably talked with them for 25 minutes. Not necessarily about Pokemon, but about all sorts of things, what was going on in their lives, the struggles that they had been going through, interacting with two people that I will most likely never, ever interact with again. But we had a moment. We had a connection about who we are and where we are in life. And we talked about the things that are going on in my life and with my family and what's going on in theirs. And we shared that moment. And we had something that never would have happened had I not been playing Pokemon. And we talk a lot about games, and we talk a lot about enjoying our existence, and we talk a lot about being humans to each other and being around each other. And this is what makes games amazing, because they bring people together. Hopefully, they bring people together in general. And that's the one thing that I think Pokemon Go does a great job of doing, is it brings people together. I have interacted and talked with people walking on the street in my city more by just going out and playing this game than I've ever in just walking around that city.
Right.
So that's my argument. So you're going to get Pokemon Go?
No.
Okay.
But the one thing I will say that you convinced me of is that there's a more positive, you may help me see that there's a more positive effect to it than just people that can't put down their phones. Because that's kind of what I've been seeing.
I can understand that. Now,
People too obsessively, like almost all my employees are playing, and I'm like, put down your phone.
yeah.
You're not going to find one here.
And that's the problem. The people who are just like walking around staring at their phone, you're playing the game wrong. You are playing the game wrong. I'm saying it right here, right now. There is a reason why it has a battery saver mode where when you turn the phone upside down, and it will vibrate when a Pokemon comes nearby, that's why it's there. So you turn the phone upside down, you put it in your pocket, something like that, and you walk around and you enjoy what you're walking around. You enjoy the river walk. You enjoy seeing these sights and things that you never would have necessarily gone to in your city, in your locale. And then when your phone vibrates, you get it out, you catch the stupid Pokemon, you know? And then you take over the gyms and you enjoy that type of stuff. But the whole point of it is to get out in the community, to enjoy being around other people, and to walk, you know, and spend some time outside. You know, and this is coming from...
Not today.
Yeah, no, not today. It's way too hot. But this is coming from somebody who... Like, my first joke about it was, like, but I have to go outside?
Yeah.
You know?
Did you walk here today?
No. That would, oh, my God. How long?
Normally just like a 40-minute drive, so that can't be too bad of a walk. All right, well, we're running high on time. So
we are.
Next
So
article.
let's keep going. So this one is, we're just going to touch on it, Fallout Shelter, which I did play a lot of. It's a free game on Android devices and iPhones and things like that. It's come to PC. You do have to get Bethesda's little...
Portal.
Whatever it is. Yeah, everybody's got one now. And I did find out what's really irritating as all hell is that if I launch it through the Steam app by using the like .exe, it doesn't connect. Like it'll launch it, and then it pops up with a little thing going, "Oh, you need to launch this through this map if you want through this app if you want to connect to the servers." And I was like, "You mother freakers!"
So what you should do is just set up the Bethesda one as a thing you launch from.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, but I don't know how much I'm actually going to play it, only because
you played so much already.
And I would continue to play it, but as of this moment, as of the last time I checked, I could not pull my saves from Google, even though I sign in with my Google account through the Bethesda one. I can't pull my saves from Google.
So it'd be a brand new
So
version.
I'd have to start all over again. And that I'm not into, especially because I actually spent real money on this game, on that game. Not much, like a couple of bucks, more than the amount of time I put into it. So it's still a Dollarwise deal. But enough that I'm like, I'm not going to start all over with nothing.
Right.
I mean, I put money into this stuff, so.
All right, next article.
All right. Actually, let's go into the Humble Bundle before we hit some of the other stuff near the end.
Since we're running high on time, you want me to just rock through everything?
That's fine with me, because you can read your handwriting and I can't.
That's part of my plan. Okay, so it's the 2K Bundle 2. Starting at $1 or more, you get the Darkness 2 action game, 77 and 7.6 on the Meta user. Steam, it was $30. Best price I could find was $6. Came out early 2012. And then Spec Ops The Line, another action game, 76 Meta, 8.2 user. $30 on Steam, 26 was the best, came out also early 2012. And then Duke Nukem Forever, a classic in disappointments. Action game, 54 Meta, 5.7 user, at least they agreed. $20 on Steam, $5 is the best I could find it. I wonder how many Steam is selling at $20 a pop with that kind of review. Anyways, early 2011 was the release date. And then pay more than the average right now at this moment. $8.79 is what that is as we're recording this. But you get Civ 5, just the vanilla version, turn-based strategy game, 90 meta, 7.9 user. 7.9 seems low. But maybe it's because I like it. $7.50 on Steam, $7.50 lowest I could find, late 2010. And then NBA 2K12, sports simulator, obviously. 86 for the PC version was just the average I came up with the 3 reviews. 5.6 user, though. Yeah, that's kind of rough. These kind of games, they change the controls regularly enough that people that love, like, you know, in this, like maybe 2K14, 2K15, then they change something in 2K16. And then there's some people that just hate it. But $60 was what it was on Steam. 14 was the best I could find it at. Came out late 2015. And then Mafia 2, the director's cut, action adventure game, 77 meta, 7.8 user. And just basic Mafia 2, because I couldn't find the director's cut. It only seemed to have come out on 360 with that title. But the basic Mafia 2, $30 on Steam, 21 best I could find, came out late 2010. And you also get with that tier, the Battleborn starter skin pack, whatever that is. But going to the highest tier, 15 or more, Battleborn, sci-fi first-person shooter, 70 meta, 7.0 user, $60 on Steam, $27 best I could find, came out early this year, 2016. And you also get the Battleborn Platinum Currency. Again, I have no idea what that is. It's an add-on of some sort. 230, I guess, 230 Platinum. And then Borderlands, the pre-sequel, action game, 75 meta, 6.1 user, $40 on Steam, 11 of the best I could find. It came out late 2014. That is our bundle, people. Supporting Game Changer.
So,
this month.
Are you going to get this bundle?
No, I own Borderlands, I own Mafia 2, NBA 2, Civ 5, Darkness 2, I own everything but Duke Nukem and Battleborn.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in Battleborn or Duke Nukem.
Mine's the same. You and I, because a lot of those are from the original Humble 2K bundle from a few months ago, and I'm pretty sure I bought it then. So, yeah, because like Darkness 2, Spec Ops The Line, I've actually played Spec Ops The Line. It was okay. I generally, like, I was reading the scores for it, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense for when I played it. It was a 7 game.
Yeah.
7 out of 10. But I think it would have been better if it had multiplayer. That's what it needed. It really needed multiplayer.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see what games come out, and because maybe that average price might push me into it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what they'd throw in there. Well, who knows? You never know. 2K's got a lot of good games, so it might be worth it.
So Humble Bundle's got that going on. Green Man Gaming has 48-hour sales going on right now where it keeps changing every 48 hours. It might be halfway or 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through by the time this actually comes out. So if you watch it right away. Obviously, Steam had their summer sale. There's a lot of sales going on with some of the other bundle sites and things like that, so just keep an eye out for some of those things. And then don't be afraid if you don't think you're going to get a game, you don't think you're going to play a game right away, you can hold off on a lot of these games and get them when they go on sale again. The games always are going to go on sale. Speaking of buying games, I actually did just finally pre-purchase a game that's coming out on August 9th.
I can't think of what it might be.
Can't think of what game that is?
Yeah.
Well, here's a hint. No Man's Sky news. No Man's Sky news. All right, so I did pre-purchase No Man's Sky. This is one of the games that I've probably been most hyped for a very long time.
That is probably true.
That is, most likely true. But anyway, this article is from IGN, and they were talking about in this article that the Hello Games is currently working on their first update for No Man's Sky. That is not special news. Everybody knows that when a game comes out anymore, they typically have a first day one update.
Oh yeah.
Because they recently went gold, so that means that the game is ready, good to ship. It's ready to go. It's being the master copy basically. So they are working on all of the updates and tweaks and things to fix stuff for the first day on that game. So I'm looking forward to it. However, I am accepting the fact that it is possible on August 9th when this game comes out, I may not be able to play it. There is a possibility where I may have to have packed up my computer by then, and that will kind of suck.
It's true.
But I want to support both the developer and I want to support this game, and that's why I'm pre-purchasing it. And I also want the extra little things that I got for pre-purchasing, the stupid little ship and the other stupid stuff.
Maybe if that happens, you can just give me your login and I'll just play. And then when you're there, then I'll just stop playing and I won't tell you. I'll just be like, it was awesome, but I beat the game.
Oh, okay. I want 100% that game.
I did already. I visited all the places.
All the places.
You didn't have a computer, so you couldn't see.
But that I did get it on GOG for the express possibility that because GOG is very good about how they treat DRMs and things like that, which is the right way to go about doing it. Speaking of which, actually, one of the Witcher Witcher 3 quests that I went on, there was a defensive something of magic in this tower that had taken over, and it was DRM. Yeah. But the only way to overcome it was Grimwald's Oculus of Grimoire or something, or GOG.
Yeah, nice.
It was very funny. Very funny. I tweeted that. The Dollarwise Gamer's Twitter tweeted that out because I thought that was hilarious. Like, very nice. Very, very tongue-in-cheek sort of humor. Nice. Which makes me like GOG even more, and CD Projekt Red. So, yeah.
All right. So is it time for the game?
It is. It's time for the Greenlight Gaming game. Woo. So, are you ready for this, James?
I'm ready.
Okay, so we started doing...
I've been hacking your computer. I mean, practicing.
So we've started doing this Greenlight Gaming game. We started last episode 50.
We did.
We got some good feedback as to whether or not people liked it. For the most part, I feel like people sided with me.
Oh, should we do that email first?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's hit these emails and stuff. So
let's do it.
Let me pull this up.
So I think that he should, because we're going off game description. I basically am. He's giving the title of the game and then the kind of multiple lines that they use to describe the game and hype up the game. To a real one is fake. And he just kind of changed the wording on one for the fake one. And I think he should write it from scratch. And he thinks he should be able to mix and match however he wants. So we offered it up for people to respond and give their responses. So here we go.
So we got one response from a tweet from Levis.
Yep.
And Levis basically, and you know how Levis is. Yeah. Levis said that you should man up and that he liked my version. So there you go.
I don't know why he's kissing your ass, but...
I don't know either, because Levis is normally against me, so...
I know. He's probably luring you into a trap.
It's possible. It's possible.
But it's a Canadian trap, so there'll be some Tim Hortons donuts and an apology.
Sounds delicious. For a second there I was confused because Ross started his email with, in response to podcast number 30. Very funny. Thank you for continuing that. Anyway, because it was episode 30, because that's what Janet said.
It is. Was.
Anyway, James not setting a value and saying that he set a budget of nothing. He clearly defined what most people would define as zero. So he agreed with me on that whole budget argument.
All right.
And then in response to creating your own content for the indie game question, I feel like you are both right to an extent. And here is his article, his arguments, his article. Next article. First, Justin's argument. He's trying to trick you into believing that one title is said game. Absolutely so. By doing, he's clearly within his right to use, switch, or modify any of it and all content in the game description.
All right.
And then for you, second, James's article. Indie games are so vast in range and design, it's already going to be a very hard challenge anyway. As we've seen, people can make games about anything. So, go back to episode 50 if you haven't heard it yet, or this is maybe your first episode or anything like that. Listen to it. It's at the games will be at the end of the podcast.
Yes.
So listen to it, and that is my version. And today, in the spirit of sportsmanship, I decided that I would do it the way James would prefer. So I did write this one 100% from scratch. I didn't even get a any, what's the word? I didn't even look through games for even a suggestion. I just came up with this one off the cuff, completely on my own.
All right.
So here we go.
And I will let you know if I guess it right. I'll let you know if it was painfully obvious for me.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's only fair because I'm asking for this, but I don't want it to be to the point where it's super easy.
All right. So here we go. So green light game, play along at home. Leave comments if you get it right or you don't get it right, or send us an email or anything like that. So here we go.
You don't have to play at home. You can play wherever you are, basically. You don't have to go home
to play.
to play.
You can play anywhere.
Just
it's like
play,
Pokemon Go.
Play where you can hear it. That's how we play the game. Play where you can hear it.
All right, so number 1. Here's the first one. The game title is Charlie Gets Fired. So, Charlie is a regular kid just trying to hold on to a job, any job. The only problem, his rare condition means that you get to choose his words for him. At the most crucial moments of his career, he's tried waiting tables, he's tried his hand at a music career, he even took on a jewel thief in court. But despite his best efforts, there's only one thing certain here. Charlie's getting fired. The only question is, how?
All
right. Number 2. This one's called Hacker and Chief. In Talaria, a city that exists outside of time and space, there are only 2 people to solve a mystery when the time police are out of options, and that's Hacker and Chief. Hacker, a 21st century teenager, pulled through a vortex when he discovered the secrets hidden in the deepest parts of the dark web, and Chief, a 17th century Native American who fell into the same vortex through time and space, found that together there was no mystery that too great that they couldn't solve together. Join their adventures that span millennia from the dinosaurs to far-flung future with space robots as they learn about each other, their past, the vortex that brought them together, and how only they can save all of time.
Okay.
And the last one, Survival and Fight, the research facility number 507. The 507 Institute was dissolved, but actually it was moved to the mountain area of the country's southern. Decades later, it was reported that the mutants appeared in that area, and they has taken control the most part of the mountain. But this information was blocked and nobody know what happened there. At the same time, a secret message was attracted the attention of institutions. According to it, the anthropology research had made great progress in recent years, but it is still unknown for us whether the research was connected with those mutants. You have been ordered to sneak into that area for reconnaissance. Unfortunately, your fake ID card was detected, and you was forced to dig the coal mine in a farm. You decide to work there and find a chance to escape. So, right. Charlie Gets Fired.
Yep.
Where you choose...
Yep.
Okay, all right. Hacker and Chief and Survival and Fight. The research facility number 507.
Okay, number 3, if that's you, the writing style you use with the odd things is a brilliant trick. So
okay.
I'm going to say that one's real because
okay.
I don't think you'd write that way.
Okay.
Of the other 2, the second one seemed crazy enough for you to come up with, but I'm going to go that the first one is the one you made up.
So you're going with Charlie Gets Fired.
Yes.
Is that your final answer?
That is my first, second, and final answer.
Okay. Charlie Gets Fired is absolutely 100% real.
Ooh.
So Charlie Gets Fired is real.
So was the last one, whatever 507, real?
Survival and Fight was 100% real as well.
All right.
Now, maybe this is a trick on my part, but 507, this one, Survival and Fight, it's very clearly that this is English as a second language.
Oh, yeah.
And Japanese or Korean or Chinese game, I'm not 100% sure because I don't recognize the characters. But yes, so I did actually choose that one with the hope that it would kind of trip you up with that.
No, it went the other way. It did, because that one I'm like, if he wrote it that way, then that's very impressive to take that, especially on the first time writing one all by from scratch.
Yep.
I'm like that. There's a little too much extra and stuff going on there in the writing.
Yes. So that would mean that Hacker in Chief, the 21st century hacker and the 17th century Native American chief, is not real. And I was actually, when I was trying to write it,
somebody's gonna make that game.
I know, right?
Copyright.
Actually, I would love for somebody to make a point-and-click adventure game about two.
Dude, it could happen. And the only reason, I'm like, that is so strange. And you said there's so many weird, super weird games on the Greenlight stuff. I'm like, that's just strange enough to work. And you picked Charlie Got Fired because you're a manager, I'm a manager, and you thought that I would
you would bite on.
I did. I kind of fell into that trap.
Yeah. Now, that being said, Charlie Got Fired was on the main page when I went to the Greenlight Gaming thing. So if you guys have suggestions for games you would like to see me put into the Greenlight Gaming.
And I never go there. I'm now specifically avoiding it.
Yeah, it's not really fair if he goes. I mean, there's thousands of games in there.
Yeah,
so,
but still, I don't want to have any chance of me having recognized one.
I will say, after doing this, I like the writing it.
Nice.
I think
Good.
that it adds an element more of challenge to it.
It does.
And so I think that after doing it, I think that I would prefer to do it this way.
And I feel more. I feel better about being defeated knowing that you wrote it yourself.
Yes.
Because I feel because that's the point. That little chapter
Yes.
is what the challenge is. So
Exactly.
I'm glad you did that, and I think
I think it's
it's
fun.
good that you won the first time, because if I would have gotten it the first time, it probably would have left you like, am I going to do this?
But this is a lot of fun. If you guys have suggestions, you can always send them to the email. Just put in the subject that it's for the Greenlight game. And then James will make sure that he does not open up that email so that he doesn't see. If you guys have suggestions for games I should use that are actual games, so please link them. Or if you have suggestions for weird games, like just give me a title for a game. That way you'll hear your title for your game, and I can write the spiel about it. You know, because the title doesn't matter as much, so I can write the spiel about it. So those are some great ideas. You can comment on our YouTube page, on our YouTube videos. You can send us an email. James, what is that email?
DollarwiseGamers@gmail.com.
It is indeed. So I was trying to bring up this. Bill Mangan had commented on one of our recent episode 50.
All right.
And his mention, which I thought was important to bring up, so I'm going to just read this. I think all games should be playable with players of other systems. Consoles are just computers. Some might have different options as others, but in the end, they're all just scaled down and affordable computers. Companies make them incompatible to play with other consoles solely for monetary reasons.
True.
Because the capability is there, I find it hilarious when they say things about them finally having the technology to be compatible to play against other consoles.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Oh, yeah.
We are...
we finally have like a financial a financial reason to allow you to do this. It's going to benefit us.
yes.
So
now
that's
it's
what they mean
convenient.
by technology.
Yes.
It's probably some long acronym.
But yes, so thank you, Bill, for that comment. Thank you, Ross, for the email. Sherbets also, thank you for the comment as well. Really appreciate it. You guys
And leave
can
us
always
for the tweet.
leave us for the tweet. Thank you. You guys can always email us. You can comment. We like those. Give us ideas. Give us things. If there are other games you'd like to see or other special things you'd like to see in these podcasts or here, please let us know. Aside from that,
Enjoy your existence.
oh, I mean, thank you, Janet, for the idea for the game. Brilliant. Love it. That was great. Janet's awesome. Super wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Enjoy your existence.
We can't not thank Janet.
You can't do it. Like legally, we can't.
Legally, it's not allowed.
Yeah.
Not having another Janet episode.
I can't afford that lawyer.